an 18-wheeler spins out of control, and it's all like, brush! In this huge tanker full of dynamite, craw, craw. Those aren't ideas, those are special effects.
Alright, I thought I would do another movie review, guys, and I just got done watching the movie that I saw this weekend, The Conjuring. New scary movie just came out, and I enjoyed this movie thoroughly. I thought this was one of the better scary movies that has come out in the last, I don't know, maybe 5 years, 7 years, maybe longer than that. It's a very good film as far as scary movies go. I just wanted to do a quick review on it and give you my likes, my dislikes about it. So here we go. Let's go over the plot first. We got The Conjuring is it's based on a true story of Ed and Lorraine Warren, who were paranormal investigators, and they were called in to help a family, was a Perrin family, terrorized by a dark presence in their new farmhouse that they just bought, and then they confront a powerful demonic entity while they're there. So that's the plot. It's pretty basic setup for a scary movie. You know, family just buys a new house and it's haunted, there's crazy shit going on, so they got to call in these outside people to come help them and see if it's really real. And of course it is, and what sort of crazy shit's going on and what they got to do to stop it, basically. So it's a setup you've seen dozens of times in previous scary movies, but executed very well in this movie. Some of the people that are starring in this film, you got Patrick Wilson. This guy, I remember him from Insidious, that movie that came out a little while ago. He's going to be in the sequel to Insidious, which is coming out later. Saw a preview for that online. I don't know. It's probably going to be garbage, that movie, but that's where he's from. I've seen him in a couple other things, but he seems to be the go-to scary movie guy lately. And Vera Farmiga, I have no idea if I'm saying that correctly, but what I remember her from is the movie, yeah, okay, I just had to double check this because I couldn't remember for sure, but yeah, she was in the movie The Departed back in 2006, I think, and that's one of my favorite movies. It's a very good film. So that's where I definitely recognize her from. And also you got Ron Livingston in this movie. Mr. Peter Gibbons, Mr. Office Space himself. So yeah, very quality cast of actors there from films that I appreciate. Good stuff. Alright, so I want to cover the positives first. The first thing is this movie, like I said, it starts off, the setup is very cliche stuff. And there's a lot of cliche stuff in this film as far as, you know, eerie sounds, you know, bumps in the night, some jump scares here and there. You know, you got your ghosts, and it turns out to be, you know, demonic possessions, exorcisms, stuff like that. It's stuff you've all seen before. It's not breaking any new ground here in terms of what you're going to see. But what it does do is all this classic cliche stuff is executed very well. Very consistently good. I haven't seen a movie in a long time where it does all this classic stuff very good across the board, from the start of the movie all the way up to the end of the movie. There's no drop-off, there's no letdown in terms of tension, or something is so far out there that you just can't suspend your disbelief. That does not happen. You can get into what's going on, and there's very little that takes you out of the film. I can't even think of any one particular moment that does it, except for right at the very beginning. But then you're totally sucked into the movie, and it keeps you there for the entire time. So the scares are legitimate. The jump scares are not the jump scares, but the scares feel like they're earned. And yeah, some jump scares will get you. They got me, a couple of them. And I really liked it. It was good stuff. So yeah, all of the classic stuff that you've seen before, you're going to see it again, but you're going to see it done better than probably you've seen in a movie in a long time, if not ever. So it's definitely that good. I'm giving this movie a lot of praise for that. Next up is the setting, the house that they used, and also the time, the period. I believe it was 70s this movie takes place in. Very good. The giant old creaky house with all the old looking, the TV, the wallpaper, some of the knickknacks, and just the outfits, the hairstyles. It all kind of adds to this vibe that the movie and it's able to suck you into this vibe and this setting and keep you there. And it really helps to establish that. Another thing is the sound effects and the sound design for this movie. I read a lot about how this movie really is done very well with its sound design. And I'm talking like, the creaky floors, the slamming of the doors, things bumping on the walls, loud booms, whispers in the dark, wind. All this standard, haunted house movie creepy stuff. It comes through very well, and it's very well executed. It's hard to explain unless you've actually seen the movie, but when you're doing a scary movie, it is so absolutely crucial to get those kind of details with the sound design and the execution of that, to get that really right and really nail it in order to hammer home the scares and the creepiness factor of it. And it's very critical that you try to get that shit right. And this movie does a fantastic job of executing it very well. I can't stress enough how important that is. And this movie does it very good job. So another big thumbs up from me for that. Another thing that I loved is that there was very little CGI in this movie. Very little. Just a couple of scenes that I can think of off the top of my head. And even then, it's only for a few seconds tops. This is almost all practical effects. And for a horror movie, in my opinion, you shouldn't need CGI. You should need very little CGI for a horror movie. Why you gotta CGI blood? Why can't you use real blood? Why you gotta CGI nasty ghost face or something creepy off in the distance? Don't CGI that shit. Just do it real. It makes it... Because you can tell when it's CGI, but when it's real, it just looks so much creepier. And this movie doesn't skimp on the practical effects. They try to do it in just about every scene in the film is all practical when you got your scary moments happening. Very little CGI. Very happy with that. Really adds to the scare factor, the creepiness vibe again. And another important thing is that this movie doesn't drop off in the third act. There's been a lot of scary movies recently that start out great, but then in the last 20 minutes, 25 minutes of the film, they really shit out. I'm talking about Insidious. I thought the third act of that film was totally way too far out there, stretched beyond the limits of believability. And then Sinister, that came out last year, I think. That movie really dropped off in the third act too. There's just a lot of films that have a great premise, great middle, and then at the end, it just drops off. I'm not going to say tags, but they just go down and lose my interest a little bit. Not this film. This film's able to keep you in the moment, in the setting, and ramp up the tension continuously so that by the end, it's really going crazy all-out shit, but still in the realm of believability, not taking you out of the film. Very, very much appreciated, very much enjoyed that part of it. Alright, let's go over some negatives. The film's not perfect, but there's not a whole lot of negatives that I have about it. The biggest complaint I would have is the opening of the film. This movie is one of those things where it dives in head first and there's some creepiness at the very beginning, and then it pulls it back and then starts to slow build up. But that very beginning, it felt a little disconnected from the rest of the film, and it was just jumping full on into something using a very cliche... I don't think I'm going to be spoiling it if I say this, but there's like a scary doll in the film, and the beginning of the film is centered around that, and then it just kind of... I don't know. It was very hard. It lacked a lot of subtlety, I guess would be the best way to put it. It was just right in there, full force. You got your things going bump in the night. You know it's the doll, and the doll's supposed to be alive and moving around, and you're expected to be pulled into that sort of really cliche sort of scare very early on, and I just had a hard time buying into that. But then the movie pulled back and revisited that later on, and it felt much more earned rather than the beginning, just trying to force you into it. But aside from that part, the rest of the movie was very good. Another thing is there were some characters in the movie at certain scenes. They were doing things that normally no normal human being would ever do in those given situations. Like you see something creepy in the corner of your eye, so what are you going to do? You're going to run and go tell everybody else when you know something fucking fucked up's going on in the house? Or you're going to go investigate? Let's go check it out. Fuck it. Yeah. Let me tell you who's not going to be saying, let's go check it out. Fuck it. This guy. I'll be turning and getting my ass the hell out of there. So, it's stuff that people normally wouldn't do, people were doing in the movie, but not very often, and that happens in every single horror movie, so, you know, I can allow that. It gets a pass. Alright, so overall, as far as scary movies go, I don't really get scared by them. I've seen too many scary movies. I'm kind of numb to it at this point. I normally just go see a scary movie just to either just have a good time, enjoy myself, or even laugh at it if it's just that bad. This movie was good, though. And it did get me. There were 2 jump scares that got me. But what I look for in a scary movie is atmosphere. Can the movie creep me out? Can it build this atmospheric, creepy vibe, maintain it, and keep me locked in there? And this movie was able to do that for 95% of the film, except for the very beginning. I was locked in to the setting, the atmosphere, the vibe that this movie was giving off, and I very much enjoyed it. Because once this movie starts building suspense and tension, it keeps going, and it doesn't let up, it doesn't stop, and by the end, there's all kinds of crazy stuff going on, but still contained well within the story, within keeping your suspension of disbelief so that you are able to maintain that atmospheric, creepy vibe, and you don't lose that. Really adds to the movie. Really enjoyed it. If you're a fan of scary movies, go check this film out. You're going to be letting yourself down if you don't go see this in theaters, or at least get it when it comes out on DVD. You know, watch it somewhere along the lines. Don't pass this film up. It's very good. I give it 4.5 out of 5 creepy doll faces. You're going to have a good time watching this movie. This movie's one of my favorite scary movies that have come out in a long time. Really enjoyed it. So go check it out. And this gets my vote, my seal of approval, if that's worth anything to you. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. JB Squared 61279 with a movie review, The Conjuring. Go check it out. You're going to like it. See ya.